Hi and welcome to Classic MGB. Now today it's Drive It Day and it's a beautiful spring day. We're off to the Classic Motor Hub in Bibury with the Wessex MG Owners Club. So there's not a moment to lose. Let's go. So off we go, and in case you haven't noticed, I have a different navigator. It's my son Josh. It's not Holly with a very heavy duty haircut. It is Josh. So Josh, looking forward to the day at the Classic Motor Hub.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. There's some really cool cars there, from what I gather.
Definitely are.
Yeah, it's going to be a good day.
I hope so.
Great weather for it as well.
Yeah, it couldn't be better, could it really?
Nice refinish on that A, isn't it?
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Really clean.
It's just another era for me.
Yeah.
The B is the one to go for. So predictably on Drive It Day, we're stuck behind a horse box, mate. This is not great, but there's a whole gaggle of MGs. I think there must be, I don't know what, 10 Bs?
Something like
there's
that.
There's an A, we've even got a TVR, so...
There's an RV8 as well.
There is an RV8, lovely car actually. There's a lot of friendship in MG. They're just a nice bunch of people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know. This is a lovely run up here through the Cotswolds. Because that's one of the things in convoy, it's a different sort of driving. You perhaps don't drive quite as quick.
Yeah, sure.
So this is Hullavington. And this is where James Dyson was supposed to make his electric car, I think. So he bought all of this and did all the work and then decided not to do it. The problem with this, we could be stuck behind this horse box all the way.
It's no fun at all.
No. Oh no, it looks like he's pulling off. I can see him indicating. This is good news if he really is, or he's just left his indicator on. No, I think he's just left his indicator on. Yeah. Oh no, well, he's got his indicator on.
He may just be turning left, but he might not know when.
We live in hope. We live in hope, don't we?
Yes.
I don't know, is there a turning here?
Hopefully the bridge is too low.
Well, no, that would be rather tragic. We don't really want to decapitate on
No. He might pull over.
Well, I might do. Well,
That's all passed.
I can't believe that he can't be indicating. He's just left his indicator on, hasn't he?
Never fancied a drop top?
No. I'll tell you why. Because I did have an SLK that I had as an SL that I had to swap with my boss as a company car for a few weeks when he took my estate car on holiday. And I found a modern one with a metal electric roof, maybe. But I found after the novelty wore off, I just didn't use it.
Yeah, sure.
And the problem with an old, like an MGB, is that it's probably too cold in winter.
Yeah.
You have to get well dressed up, and then I'm not sure that's, you might as well have a motorbike.
Yeah.
And then in summer it's too hot.
Sure, yeah.
So actually, I mean, know, it depends, doesn't it? If you're driving along at a good speed, then a drop top's probably quite nice in the summer, but then you probably burn.
When you're stuck in traffic as well, I can imagine it gets roasting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's pretty roasting in here.
Yeah.
But,
aircon, not one of those mod cons you want then?
No.
That's
You can't
cool.
have an MGB with aircon. You know, that's part of the fun of a classic car. I mean, that's one of the things, isn't it? That cars have changed. I mean, this is the car of my youth.
Yeah.
This is the sort of car, you know, my dad had an old Escort, which was pretty much the same as this in terms of windy windows.
Yeah.
No aircon and all that kind of stuff. And that's what we were used to, you know. Certainly wouldn't have aircon.
Well, you would have been 8 when this car was made, or 7 and a half.
7, yeah, that's right.
When I would have been 7 in 2002. So that's kind of like the year of the MX-5, isn't it?
No, earlier than that. I think the MX-5.
Well, it was the 90s, but
Yeah,
like
the
the
90s,
newer
yeah.
ones, yeah.
The newer ones,
Well,
but
it's actually an MGTF.
But I mean, you
that
probably-
era.
I've always, every family car I've ever had with you alive has had aircon.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And certainly I wouldn't buy a daily driver without aircon.
Oh, definitely not. No.
But, so this is very pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a story here. I'll tell you in a minute. So on this bend, as you go around this right-hand bend, there is a light that stays on all the time.
Mm.
It's just round here. And that house there, look, you see? There's a light that stays on all the time. And there it is, look.
Yeah.
And I don't quite know the story, but it's something to do with travellers and hoping they'll return or something like
Okay.
that. But I do hope this horse box turns off soon.
Mm.
That is one of the problems of the country, though, tractors and horse boxes and things. Not a lot you can do about it, you just got to trundle along and enjoy the ride.
Yeah. There are worse sights as well than 5
yeah.
MGs in front.
True.
Here's a fun fact for you that I've discovered recently.
Go on then.
The dotted line in the middle of the road.
Yes.
The more danger there is, the closer together the lines are.
Yes, I knew that.
It's in the highway code. I didn't know that until
And
someone told me recently.
having passed your test over 10 years ago.
Well, 8.
8 years? Was it 8 years ago?
Yeah. 8 years next month, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah. And obviously, when there's no gap, lots of danger.
Yeah, when there's no gap, there's no overtaking, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, if you had to choose one of the cars on this run, which would it be?
For me, it would be the RV8.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I prefer how the Bs look, but it's the performance of that and the sound of that V8.
Do you believe it's the same body shell?
Is it really?
Yeah, same body shell as a B. They've obviously got lots of sort of
Is it
extra
really?
plastic bits on it, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So this is Kemble Airport, or Cotswold Airport they call it. And this is where jets go to die.
Yeah.
So they're brought in here and then they're dismantled. So you see lots of old passenger
Oh, wow.
jets up here. Always strikes me every time I drive past here, just how busy it is and how big aeroplanes are.
Lovely.
Okay, so we're just coming into Cirencester, so not far to Bibury at all. But let's hope this horse box, which we've been behind all the way from Chippenham. So this is quite a famous agricultural college. It's the Royal Agricultural College at Cirencester. Yeah. There it is, Royal Agricultural University, no less now. You can do distance in this car.
Oh, we have done, yeah.
Yeah, when we went to get the look at the ramps, that was
It's 260 miles.
260, was it?
Something like that.
I think that's the most I've done in a day. I did 230 on the MGB Roadster spring run because we had to get to Abingdon, then we went to Stowe and then all the way back.
Yeah, Isle of Man maybe.
That was a 230 run, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. The village pub.
This is very nice.
Lovely town, actually.
Lovely
village.
village, yeah. The thing that's nice, isn't it, that when you drive past, it's not like your average boy racer or a Ferrari where people go, ugh. Everybody smiles when
That's
they see
true,
other cars,
yeah.
don't they?
I smile now when I see classics. When I see an MGB, I get really excited.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, because the thing is, a lot of youngsters don't get classic cars.
Yeah.
And, you know, who's gonna keep them going?
I think there are enough young people interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very welcoming community as well.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I did a piece for a TV show years ago called The Burford Bash,
Oh, yeah.
which was through Bibury. Absolutely beautiful. Bibury is absolutely, I mean, it's a typical picturesque English village. It really is. It's lovely.
Yeah.
If you had to take a picture of a typical beautiful English village,
Yes, yeah.
this will be it. Look at everybody taking photos of it. So look at this. I mean, this is just beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, this is stunning. The water.
Thank you.
This is a great town.
It's lovely.
I'm gonna have to come here with
Village.
them.
Yeah, she'd love it.
Yeah.
She would love it. It's literally just up the road here now. Very narrow around here. So here we are, we've arrived.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now I've come across this lovely B Roadster. It's J plate, looks absolutely beautiful with its mini light wheels and wooden dash. Just the typical sort of car you want on Drive It Day. So whilst we're the Classic MGB channel, we also embrace MGCs, which are lovely cars, very, very similar to a B, just a few things that are different. Obviously, there is a straight six engine in the front, and also the suspension had to be modified, and the front valance had to be modified to fit that engine. But still, lovely cars. They were maligned, should I say, because at the press launch, apparently the tyre pressures were wrong. So there was a lot of criticism from journalists that they didn't handle very well. I think that's a bit of a fallacy, to be honest. And actually, I think they're a great car. Now, here's an interesting car. It's probably the nearest thing that the Italians got to competing with the MGB. It's a 1963 Alfa Romeo Giulia. It's a beautiful car, actually. It's for sale. Just £65,000. Well, I've caught up with Keith Preston, who's got a lovely 1964 pull handle MGB. And I have to say, the cleanliness of it, Keith, puts my BGT to shame. So tell me the story about your car.
Oh, well, actually, it is an interesting story. It was a USA car originally, and it was brought back to UK in 1989. And Roger Boys, who was quite well known in the MG world, it was his car. He had it brought back and had it restored over a 10-year period. And then he ran it for many years, upgrading it along the way in nice, subtle ways, handling an engine, a 5-speed gearbox, that sort of thing. And then we bought it from him during COVID, and we've had it ever since, and spent some time upgrading the condition of it, and running very well.
It looks absolutely beautiful in terms of condition. It's obviously had a lot of restoration work. Roger did a lot of work on it.
Yes, quite a lot of work, and very nicely for me, which is something that I like, is I got all the history file with it.
Sure.
So even right back to the spares list of when they undertook the restoration. So that gives you a good idea of what's been done to it over the years. Lots of original photographs, which unfortunately I forgot to bring today. Otherwise I could have shown you. I've also managed to trace a couple of the US registration numbers, and I've had the US plates made up. And again, I forgot to. We've only just got the car out of storage, as we've recently moved house, and the cars only came a couple of days ago. So I haven't had time to do a lot to it. And I forgot to bring those registration plates, which again we've just acquired.
Okay, so but what is it about the MGB that's special? Why did you go for a B?
Well, we have had a C for over 20 years, which was our first classic, and we've run that and thoroughly enjoyed that. But I just thought I ought to try something else as well. And in fact, we've sold the C now just recently, and we're running this. And this with the 2-litre engine, the 5-speed gearbox, the handling kit, I must say it runs really well.
Yeah, it's interesting. We were just looking at the C because one of the criticisms when the C came out was they didn't handle well. It was something to do with tyre pressures on the press launcher or something.
Yeah,
so
well,
as
that is
you,
the story,
yeah,
yes.
so you've had both. How would you say they compare?
The C is the more long-legged, long-distance touring car. We had suspension upgrades and other things done to that. It was heavy to drive, but once you were on the move, you didn't really notice much difference. But this is very different because this also has power steering, which makes this an absolute doddle to drive. But the C, yeah, we loved it very much, but it was time for a change.
So what are you planning this year with the B?
Oh, golly, well, we're still really settling into the house now, and that's why the car only came back a couple of days ago. And so we haven't really thought much beyond getting here today, which we've successfully done, and we'll have to think about the year ahead.
Now, one of the lovely things about the Classic Motor Hub is that it's not just about the cars that are here, and I have to say the cars are stunning, aren't they? But the shop is really well stocked and it's got really nice stuff, not cheap, grocky, horrible stuff. It's some really nice stuff. I could probably spend an absolute fortune here. Now, this is a car I remember really well. It's a Riley MPH. Well, I say I remember it, but actually my dad had a replica. The replica, I think, was about 20,000. This one is just 480,000, but what a lovely, lovely car. Well, I've caught up with Dave Collier, who I happen to know because he's in our local club, and he's got a lovely 1975 MGB-GT Jubilee. Dave, tell me about the car.
So I've had the car for about 5 years now. It's like a rolling restoration, done a bit of work on it, a little bit of engine, making it look a bit prettier, sort of restored the wheels and generally try and drive it as much as I can. So yeah, it's great fun. Yeah, and it's a good group that we're in as well.
It is, yeah.
With the MG Club. So yeah, all good.
It's your first classic, or?
Yeah, no, so the first one, so I wanted a practical one that I could get the spares for, and my uncle had a GT from like 1975 until the mid-90s. So I had the MG Bug, and he convinced me not to get a Spitfire. I should have had a GT. So and I was lucky. I ended up finding a Jubilee of all types. So yeah, really happy.
And not a Roadster. You don't fancy an open car?
No, I haven't got a garage, unfortunately. So the GT's more practical. I'm going to have a C Roadster one day if Margot the Jubilee doesn't hear it. I'd like a Roadster one day, but I'd never get rid of the GT. So it's here for life, I think.
Absolutely. So what's special about the MGB that's placing people's hearts?
I don't know. There's a lot of things, really. I mean, I can remember as a kid sitting in the back of one of these and falling asleep in my uncle's one. So I've always had them around in my life, and they're just a great car, really. They're an A road or a B road, they come into their own. So it's lovely to drive it around on, especially on days like today where it's glorious. It's I don't really miss the Roadster side of it. It's still plenty charming enough to drive around.
So, and you do most of the work yourself?
Yeah, I do, and I've got a guy that a guy called Andy Mack who does a bit of work for me as well when it's a bit too messy or I'm too busy to do it.
Sure.
But I try and have a little tinker myself as well. It's half the fun of having the car, isn't it? So it's labour of love. Spend too much money on it. I've seen your clip. I've seen your video when you say about how much. I'm not going to look at how much I've spent. But,
no, most people don't.
But I've got my eyes on a Selly engine one day, but they're about another £10,000. So.
Yeah, if you get the top ones, yeah.
So I'll try and hold off that.
So there you go, a whistle-stop tour of Drive It Day 2025 at the Classic Motor Hub. I have to say, if you fancy a really good day out, come here. Just make sure on the website they're open, because I don't think they open every day, but it doesn't have to be Drive It Day. There's always good stuff. There's the shop, there's the cafe. Definitely worth a visit. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, give it a share, and if you'd consider subscribing to the channel, that'd be even better. As always, many thanks for watching, and take care.